Today we talked about area of triangles, area of parallelograms, and I gave you 1 to 8, was it? Right, okay. Anyone need anybody number 1? 2? 2. Right, okay. In a given triangle, AB is 9, so in the given triangle, so we have AB is 9 centimeters, and they tell me the corresponding perpendicular height for that base is 8 centimeters, and they tell me this is 12 centimeters, and then they said find the area, right, okay, and then find the perpendicular height, this perpendicular height, which I will call H. Okay, so to get the area of a triangle, it's a half multiplied by the base multiplied by the height. Okay, I can't use this as the base, right, because I don't have the matching height, sure I don't, right, but if I turn it around, I can use the 9 centimeters at the base as the base because I have the 8 centimeters matching height. So that's equal to a half multiplied by 9 multiplied by 8, which is equal to 36 cm squared because it's area. Is that okay? Sorry, I'm sorry of the camera always. Yeah, sorry about that. Right, okay, are we good? Right, does everyone see how I got the area? I can't use the 12 because I don't have the perpendicular height as the base. So I have to turn it around and use 9 centimeters as my base because I have the perpendicular height, which is 8. Okay, so that's part 1, find the area. Part 2 says find the corresponding height to the 12, right? Okay, so I knew, right, that if I go a half multiply by 12 multiply by whatever that height is, that's what I'm trying to find out, right? The answer is going to be 36 because it's the same triangle that I just got the area of, right? So I know what the answer is going to be. A half multiplied by 12 in the calculator, do a half multiplied by 12 and you get 6. So 6 by h is 6h equals 36. There's a 6 stuck to the h, so divide each side by 6 and you get h is equal to 6 and its height, so it's in centimeters. Is that right? Okay, okay. Right, that's number 2. Anyone need any bit of number 3?
Yeah.
Which bit?
Just any of them.
Any of them, right, okay. Find the value of x in each of these triangles. Okay, so if I do 3 part 3, okay, so I have a triangle. Now it's a weird looking triangle. For those weird looking triangles, the perpendicular height is on the outside and that's fine. Okay, so the perpendicular height is on the outside there and that's fine. Okay, as long as you have it, it's grand. But they told me the answer, the area is 35. Okay, oh sorry, that's the middle one. The area of part 3 is 27. Okay, is that right? So I know if I go a half multiply by the base multiply by the height, I know the answer is going to be 27 because they told me. Okay, so that's a half, sorry, they told me that was 9. So it's a half multiplied by the base is 9 multiplied by the height, don't know, right? So multiply the two numbers that you have. So a half multiplied by 9 on your calculator is 4.5. So it's 4.5 h is equal to 27. There's a 4.5 stuck to the h, so divide each side by 4.5 and you end up with h is equal to 6 again, I think, right? It just happened, the h is not always 6, it just happened to 2 examples I did it was, right? Okay, is that alright? Is the rest of number 3 okay?
Yeah.
Now that you know how to do, yeah, okay. Number 4, any bit? 5?
We did part 3.
Part 3 of number 5.
Yeah.
Okay, So part 3 of number 5 is my parallelogram. Okay, right? So this is 11 centimeters, this is 13 centimeters, this is 15 centimeters. Okay, and it says find the area. So the area of a parallelogram is base by height. But I can't use 15. Why? Because I don't have the matching height. Sure, I don't. So what I need to do is I need to turn my parallelogram on its side. Okay? So then when I turn it on its side, 13 is on the bottom. Right? And the perpendicular height is 11. So then I have a full set. So the area is equal to the base, which is 13, by the perpendicular height, which is 11, which is 143 centimeters squared. Is that right? Okay. So again, it's the same as the triangles, you just have to turn it around when you don't have enough information the way it's drawn. Right? 6. Am I doing 6? No. 7? Okay. And 8. 8, right, okay. Number 8, the area of the parallelogram ABCD, so parallelogram is here. So A, B, C, D, and they're telling me the area of that is 40. So they're telling me the whole area is 40. DB is 15. So from D to B, so this line here is 15. Right, okay, find the perpendicular distance. Okay, so basically yesterday we said if you draw a diagonal on a parallelogram, what you do with the area, you have the area, isn't that right? So what I have here is I have a triangle, right? So I know the area of this triangle. A diagonal in a parallelogram bisects the area, so cuts the area in two, so the area of that triangle is 20, right? They're telling me what the base was. The base, they told me, was 15 centimeters, and they said basically find the perpendicular height. Okay, so height there, is that okay? So it's a triangle, so formula for triangle is a half multiplied by base multiplied by height. I know the answer is going to be 20, so it's a half multiplied by 15 multiplied by the height, right, equals 20. Multiply a half by 15, you get 7.5 h equals 20. There's a 7.5 stuck to the h, so divide each side by 7.5, and I think you get the h is equal to 2.6 recurring, yeah, which is actually 2.66666, right? Okay, so basically if I wanted to write that to one decimal place, it's 2.7. Okay, but we won't split hairs over that. Is that okay? Right, are we good? Was that it? Yeah? We're okay? So yesterday we learned the area of a triangle area of a parallelogram, right? Today I'm going back to talk about triangles, okay? Right, okay, so triangles. In a triangle, so just a couple of facts for you to remember. The biggest angle, the largest angle, is opposite the longest side. And that also means that, and the smallest angle is opposite the shortest side. Okay, so basically, if I have a triangle and I say this side measures 6 centimeters, this side measures 7 centimeters, this side measures 8 centimeters, and I have three angles A, B, and C. Now, I'm not asking what they measure, but I'm asking for which is the largest angle. Which is bigger, A, B, or C? A, because it's opposite, the largest angle is opposite the longest side. So the longest side is 8, 8 is opposite A. Would you agree? Right, okay. So A is the largest angle. I don't know what it measures. I'd have to use the cosine rule to figure out what it measures, but I'm not bothered about that at the moment. So A is the largest angle. Which is the smallest angle? C is the smallest angle, because it's opposite the shortest side. So C is the smallest angle. Is that alright? The converse of that, girls, is if I said here's a triangle and I say this angle measures 70, this one measures 75, and that leaves this one with 25. Now I know that looks nothing like, that's 145, no, it's actually 35, isn't it? Okay, right, and I call this side 1, side 2, and side 3. Well, the converse means the opposite, so the largest angle is opposite the longest side. The other way works, the longest side is opposite the largest angle. So which side is longest? Side 3 is the longest. Side 3 is the longest. Which side is the shortest? 1, because side 1 is opposite the smallest angle. So side 1 is the shortest. And this, girls, is called the converse. Okay? So that means the opposite, as in the opposite is also true. As in the biggest side is, or the biggest angle is opposite the longest side. That means the longest side is opposite the biggest angle. Turn it backwards. Okay, so that's called a converse. Okay? Right. Is that alright? Okay. And while I'm here, girls, right, okay, I've told you this before. What have I told you about the hypotenuse? The hypotenuse is always the longest side, isn't it? In a triangle, the hypotenuse is always the longest side, because it's opposite the biggest angle. The biggest angle is 90, right? Because remember, 90, these two, all three triangles add to 180. If this one is 90, these two add to 90, so that means they have to be less than 90. So the right angle is the biggest angle. So that's why the hypotenuse is always the longest side. I'll just remind you of that in there. I've said that when we were doing trigonometry, but just to stick it in here. The hypotenuse is always the longest side. not in this section, right? Okay, right? Is that all right? The next thing is a triangle inequality. So, two sides of a triangle are together greater than the third side. So two sides of a triangle are together greater than the third side. What the hell do I mean by that is, if I have a triangle, right, okay, and I'll go back to the one there I had there a minute, 6, 7 and 8, 6, 7 and 8. If you add any two sides, it'll be bigger than the other side. So, sorry. Right? As in, if you add 7 and 8, you get 15. That's bigger than 6, isn't it? If you add 6 and 7, you get 13. That's bigger than 8. If you add 6 and 8, you get 14. That's bigger than 7. So if you add any two sides, right, okay, it's always bigger than the third side. Okay? So you could use that to say, if I said that this side measures 4 and this side measures 3, right? Okay, this side has to be less than what? The third side has to be less than what? 7, right? Okay, so this side here has to be less than 7, because the other two sides less than 7, because the other two sides make 7. So if I had a triangle that said 4 plus 3, and I said this side was 8, it's not possible to draw a triangle like that. That's not possible. If you tried to draw it, it wouldn't work. It's not possible to draw that, because 4 and 3 make 7. 7 is not bigger than 8. Right? Okay, so when you add any two sides, it should be bigger than the third side. Is that okay? That's all that means. Okay? So, and if you have two sides, you're able to figure out that this side has to be less than 7. So if I said that side was 9, I'd be wrong. Okay? Is that okay? It's not a big fact, but it's just a fact that you need to know. Is that alright? Okay, are we good with that? Okay, now I'm going to do transversals. Sounds very intriguing. Always makes me think of Pennsylvania, but it's nothing intriguing at all. Transversals, right, okay, if three parallel lines on some transversal line, I'll explain what all these terms mean now in a minute. Right, okay. So it's all very transversals and what the hell am I talking about? Right, this is actually quite easy as well. Right, okay. But again, it's just a fact you need to remember. Okay, so these are facts, you have to learn them. Okay, they won't just jump into your head, they don't make sense. As in, right, you have to learn them. Right, okay, so what it means is, can I move it up? What this means, if I have three parallel lines, you all know what parallel lines are, they never meet. Three parallel lines, and how we indicate parallel lines is we put an arrow on them all. So if you put an arrow on the three lines, that means they're all parallel. Is that alright? Okay. And if we have a transversal is just a line that crosses over. Okay? So this is a transversal. It's just a line that crosses over all three lines, all three parallel lines. That's called a transversal. And if it cuts off equal segments, as in, if I say from here to here is 4 centimetres, and I tell you from here to here is also 4 centimetres, that means if I draw any other transversal on that, they will be equal segments. So if I draw another transversal, right, okay, and I say this measures 5 centimetres. Because it cut this one equally, see it? It cuts this one equally, so this is also 5 centimetres. If there was another one, right, okay, I might extend these on. Right, if there was another transversal, which way I go? I'll go like so. Right, okay. And because it's cut off equal segments here, it's cutting off equal segments here. So from here to here measures the same as from here to here. So if this measures 6 centimetres, this measures 6 centimetres. So they'll have to tell you one, but if it cuts one into equal segments, it cuts them all into equal segments. Does that make sense to everyone? So you don't know what measure they are unless they give you one, and then it's the same, right? Is that okay? Are we good with that? Right, okay. So what I'm going to do is we're going to do page 335 to 336. I'm going to do a construction now in a minute to keep going with my constructions. And let's do to 336. Let's do 1 to 5. And I'm doing my construction now to keep going because this is great. I'll have 2 chapters done. The same length of time I'll do one. Say that again. We have this is geometry 1. We have geometry 2 and the circle to do, and then we're finished. I'll be finished. My intention is to be finished before the pre, right?
How would they ask the questions for the constructions?
Construct the following.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So I might narrow down the. Can I tell you we haven't done the one? There is a construction on the pre, right? We haven't done it yet. Okay. We will have it done though. Excuse me. I have time, don't I? Okay. Yesterday I did division of a line into 3 equal parts. Did you all practice that last night? Okay. It's in your own interest to practice these, girls, right? And I put the link up on Teams for it if you couldn't remember what I did, right? Okay. So today we're going to construct triangles. Okay, where am I going? I need this. And to construct triangles, girls, you'll need your compass, a ruler, and a protractor. You all know what the protractor looks like to measure the angles, okay? Right, so you need this as well. To draw triangles, here's what you need. Sorry. Okay. So, there's 4 types of triangles you'll be asked to draw, right? You'll be able to construct a triangle, right, given side, side, side. Okay, so constructed a triangle given the measure of 3 sides. Okay, so construct a triangle. Example, construct a triangle with sides 5 centimeters, 6 centimeters, 7 centimeters. Now, for the triangles, it's not really necessary for this one, but it's a good habit to get into. Always do a little rough diagram in the corner, right? Okay, right, and I'm going to say I want to make one side 5, one side 6, and one side 7. Doesn't matter where you put the 5, 6, and 7. No, not at all. So it doesn't matter where you put them, but and the rough diagram isn't that important for this type of triangle, but going forward it will be. So it's a good idea just to draw a little rough diagram at the side, just so you know what you're drawing. Okay, right, is that okay? So the first thing you do is you draw your line down at the bottom 7 centimeters. I'm drawing 7 centimeters at the bottom, right? And as I say, it's really important with these girls to be accurate. So don't go around 7 centimeters, go exactly 7 centimeters. Because to correct them, the people measure lines, right? And there's normally a tolerance of about 2 millimeters, which is very teensy, right? If you have a thick pencil, you might be out. Okay, so make sure your pencil is topped and stuff. Okay, they measure, and the tolerance is normally about 2 millimeters. So that means if it's out by more than 2 millimeters, you don't get the marks. Okay, is that right? Okay, so now I want this line here to be 5 centimeters. Now girls, I don't know which angle to draw it at. Do I do it here? Do I do it up here? So I'm not sure, so I can't use the ruler to draw it. So what I do is I get my compass, right? Okay, and I make an arc of 5 centimeters. So make an arc of 5 centimeters. Okay, so put the point at 0 and the pencil at 5. Is that okay? And again, be accurate. Okay, and make sure your compass is not floppy. So put the tip of the compass on the end of the line and draw an arc. So the 5 centimeter is heading that way somewhere, right? We don't know which way it goes. So it could be this, it could be over here, it could be up here, it could be anywhere. So we don't know. We know it's on that arc though, right? Then we need 6 centimeters at the other side. So you make an arc of 6 centimeters. Okay, so you put the tip of your compass at 0, the pencil on 6, make your 6 centimeters, put it at the end of the line, right, and draw 6 centimeters. Okay, your arcs should intersect. If your arcs don't intersect, you haven't drawn them long enough, right? So you know the way sometimes you draw and the arcs don't intersect, you haven't drawn the arcs long enough. So just go back and extend them, right? Okay, and then where the 2 arcs intersect, right, you join it to the end of the line. So join it to the end of that line and join it to the end of the other line, to the start of the line. Okay, and then have a quick measure to make sure you didn't go wrong. Okay, so quick measure, that is 6, and this one is 5, and yeah, then you can congratulate yourself and tell yourself how brilliant you are. Is that right? Okay, are we good with that? Do you want another one of those, or do you think that's okay? Is it okay? Right, okay. Construct a triangle. The second triangle you need to be able to construct. given SAS. So what do I mean by SAS? Two sides and an angle. So they're going to tell me two sides and an angle. Okay, so construct a triangle. Now this is where you need the rough diagram. Construct a triangle ABC. I just drawn a triangle instead of writing the words. Construct a triangle ABC where BC is 4, the length of AB is 3, and angle ABC is 30. Now this is where you definitely need a rough diagram, because you need to know what's going where, right? You can't tell by looking at it what's going where. So you draw a little rough diagram over on the side of the page. You put A, B, C. Doesn't matter where you put A, B, C, no. Doesn't matter where you put A, B, C, just put them in and then put in your measurements. So two straight lines either side of BC means the length of BC is 4 centimetres. Sorry, yeah, I can. So the length from B to C is 4 centimetres. The length from A to B is 3 centimetres. And angle ABC, where will I find angle ABC? What letter is it? It's at B, it's always at the middle one. So here's ABC, 30. Is that okay? Right, off you go, so, right, okay. The bottom line you want it to be 4 centimetres, so you draw your bottom line with the ruler. Okay? If I do nothing else, I have marks. Okay? So if I do absolutely nothing else, I've just drawn a line of 4 centimetres, I have marks. You need to get your protractor then. Right? You need to make an angle of 30 at this end. Right? So you put the cross at the start of the line. Make sure it's straight, right, draw 30, right, so go around to 30, just put a little mark and draw it. Now this line has to be 3 centimetres long, but you're going to cut it off with your compass, so draw it good and long, get your compass, measure 3 centimetres, cut it off, right, and then connect it back to the end of the line. Is that okay? I'll put up a link for YouTube. Okay, so practice those two constructions as well as the 1 to 5. Okay.
I just came in there for that.
Oh yeah, please, thank you.